If you ever wondered how your reviews can work more for you, well, stay tuned because over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how to turn your reviews into potentially 7 to even 30 pieces of content in just 20 minutes. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Victor, your favorite no BS marketing consultant, sharing one tip in every video so that you can get results before ever having a conversation. Let's jump right in. Okay, so the local review content machine. First thing is you can see there's 4 days here. This is something to do every day. Well, 4 days out of the week. You can take you can do this on Thursday or you can do it on Friday, but I have it set to Friday. Here's how it works. On Monday, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna create 4 pieces of content. It's gonna be super simple. So the first piece of content you're gonna do is a scroll through. You're literally just gonna screen record yourself just scrolling through your reviews. The end. That's it. That's one scroll through. Go slow enough so people can see the actual review of your most recent ones. I would even go back in the past and start doing that for like a few seconds. I would say maybe 5 to 10 seconds is good enough. That's one review. That's one content piece. That's one ad that you can run and get more people into your world. The next version of that is you take your top 3 reviews for that week or for the last 30 days or for the last quarter, and you go ahead and screenshot them. Those become the ad itself. Here's what you do. You turn that into a storytelling text. In our world, we call it copy, right? So it's the copy on the ad that people read, but then the image itself is the actual picture of the review. The text on the ad is literally you just telling you the story of that customer and why they gave you that review. That's it. That's 4 pieces of content, day 1 on Monday. That's going to take you maybe 5 minutes to set up and do. Number 2, this is where we go ahead and take these 4 pieces of content and now run them through a scroll stop test. I talked about it in a different video of how we do a scroll stop test, but I'll quickly recap it for you. So scroll stop test is we typically run a square image with a hook or headline. On the image, it's two-tone. Let's say it's black up here and white down here or vice versa, whatever. And we just launch it locally to your local targeting audience. Literally, where's your business? Where's your service area? Choose that area, 10-mile radius, and just run it there. We're going to run it for $20 a day, and we're only going to run it for 24 hours. That's it. So you do that in 20 minutes. You will have 4 pieces of content. You'll launch them. And in 24 hours, you'll know some really cool things here in a second. Now, on Tuesday, tomorrow, the next day, you're going to take those ads that you launched. You only spent $20. You waited 24 hours. You're going to review the metrics. The metrics are, again, I talked about it in the scroll stop video, but I'll just quickly recap it for you. You're looking for a couple of things. 400 impressions. Check. 2.5% CTR, click-through rate is what it means. 2.5%. The other one is clicks for under $1. Now, the reason we do all of this is because we're going to go ahead and leverage to see this gives us a leading indicator that this ad potentially could win down the line when we turn it into an actual winner ad that is going to drive business for our business. So review metrics, we're looking for 400 impressions, 2.5% click-through rate or more, clicks for under $1 as best as possible. That turns these 4 into potentially 20, and then again, running through the scroll stop test, that's in a different video. But then we go ahead and take the winners from that test. Let's say it was 2 of these reviews were the winners. I'm gonna now tell the story. The way I wrote it, I'm just not going to record a video. I don't want you to record video until after you know it's worth recording. So story content is now video content that you can tell about that review. Why did you get that review? What did that customer come to you for? What did you do? How did you deliver service? What problems did you guys run into? How did you solve those problems? And how happy were they at the end of solving those problems? And what was the end result? That's why they gave you a 5-star review. Boom, that's it. Now, on Tuesday, you do that, and then you launch those winners as well. So these are now tested. They're done. You now have story video content. You record it. You launch it. Boom, you're done. On Wednesday, you're gonna, again, review the metrics. Did those video ads get 400 impressions, 2.5% click-through rate, clicks for under $1? And then we run those through a trust profile lens. So when we're running through a trust profile lens, we have 4 lenses that people typically interact with. One of them is going to be analytical. I'm not going to write them down actually. So analytical, aspirational, anthropological, and actionable. People consume content in one of those 4 ways. And typically what you're doing is you're essentially expanding and turning one piece of content into 4 more by doing that as well. You just re-record the content. Now, again, you can see why we only re-record when we find winners. I don't want to spend time recording things that might lose. So I'd rather use your time wisely and start building it this way. But then we go through that process. We create 4 new versions of this storytelling context in different ways. And then we go through our reviews again. And we look, do we have any new reviews from earlier that week? Boom, yes or no. If you don't, then that's fine. You just stop at that second part. But if you do, we're going to go into reviews, run this process again. On Friday, those videos that you recorded, now we're launching those to run through the weekend. Because what we're going to do is we're no longer running a scroll stop test. We're running a conversion campaign. This is where we now run the winners that we found for that week through a conversion campaign that leads to a call, a contact us form, an opt-in page, or a conversation. That is how we start to leverage your already, the content that's already there, stuff that your customers are already telling you how good you are, how awesome you are. Most businesses actually leverage their reviews to help close the sale. However, what if instead you flip the script and you brought your reviews to your potential customers instead? They find you ahead of time. They're not looking at your competitors. They don't even get a chance. That is why we do this process here, to help you increase your content output potentially by 10x here without having to record much content. We do this every week so that you can go ahead and turn one potential review into a lot of winners to bring in more business. Now, if you want the breakdown, the step-by-step document of how this process works, the checklist, the templates, drop me a line below and I'll send it over your way. Talk soon.